welcome back, everyone. Thank you for joining us again this week. This week, I've got a very special guest. I've got Laura Major. She's a realtor with Century 21 Signature Real Estate in Ankeny. Laura wanted to get into real estate even before she finished college, but was too busy and too by the books to take that leap. But when the world went crazy during the pandemic, she finally realized that there's never a perfect time to do anything and just dove in. She was the company's rookie award winner her first year and ranked 85th in the state of Iowa last year and only plans to grow from there. Congratulations, Laura. Welcome to the show.
Thanks. Happy to be here.
Yeah, so let's just jump right in here. So what drew you into real estate? You said you wanted to get into it back in college or when you finished college, but why? What was exciting about it to you?
Yeah, like all life problems, it was my mother who caused them. I can remember growing up, we had just a tiny little, not great house, and my mom was always doing little projects to make it better, right? She did everything: sponge painting, wallpaper, wainscoting, like any trend, she did it. We had the rooster kitchen. We had like the
Wow.
apple kitchen,
Are
every
you my
trend.
sister? Are you my sister here? I think we have the same thing.
Yeah. And so she was just always interested in houses and was always planning, her dream house. I think that was a bug that stuck. And then while I was in college working towards my degree, I always was thinking, but what am I actually going to do anything with this degree? Do I want to do anything with this? Um, I went to an excellent seminar hosted by a brokerage in Iowa City where I was going to school. And when I was sitting through that, at the end of it, I said, that sounds awesome. It also sounds like I cannot do that. I'm about to graduate. I'm going to have student loans. I can't risk jumping into a career where most people fail, where they don't, there's no money guaranteed. The first 2 years, they advise you to have someone to financially support you. So I did not do it then. But then COVID happened, and my life was a little bit different than it was back in college. Had a husband, had a house. We were feeling pretty stable while the rest of the world was not. And I just decided, you know what? It's always been on my radar. Let's do it. So took the classes, joined Century 21 Signature Real Estate here in Ankeny, and honestly haven't ever looked back.
What was it that stood out to you about that seminar you sat in on that kind of said, hey, this is something that I think really makes sense to me? Was it just your mom always decorating houses? Why didn't you get into interior decorating in that case? Like, what was it that, what skills do you possess that you felt were going to be really helpful for this?
Yeah, well, I think outside of interior decorating, I don't have an eye for design at all. I do love to work with my clients when we're walking through a home. I can picture kind of how things have been. I've seen enough things that it's easy to say, well, if you tweaked this just like this, or if you closed this door and made this that, I can picture things that way. But colors, artwork, rugs, like I can't piece that all together. It's not in my wheelhouse. Um, but numbers have always been my jam. My degree is in biology. That does require 2 semesters of calculus, not to mention biostats and some other heavy math classes. And so real estate to me, I mean, it's just numbers, right? You're taking averages, you are weighing kind of pros and cons. And last year it looked like this year projections are saying this. How do we balance that? So the stats to real estate are really my niche, I guess. Like if the numbers don't make sense, the house doesn't make sense. And as my client, you're going to have to really convince me that you should be buying it if I don't feel like it's a good financial decision for you, which maybe that's a lot to take on, but I want my clients to be in a good position at the end of the day.
Yeah, I love that. So you're saying that as soon as real estate slows down again, you're going to jump over and work as a lender. You're going to come aboard, and you're going to be my co-host here on the Lofty Lender. Is that right?
Yeah, I don't want to be the stereotypical realtor who says I don't like lenders. And it's not that I don't like lenders. The lending
You can't
process
say
makes me
that here,
sad.
anyways. You
I
can't
know
say
the
that.
lending process makes me sad. I understand the regulations and the rules, but every time I'm working with a client and it's, nope, you can't get a loan right now because XYZ, you're going to have to take the time to fix those things. There's heartbreak in that, delaying what they really want. It's sad. So I don't think lending's going to ever be for me.
You're always the rainbows, sunshines, and butterflies, huh? You don't want to have those hard discussions. I mean, I can appreciate that. It's not quite as fun, but you're also there to help out with your clients and stuff too. And you've been a good supporter of the people that we worked with together, just to make sure that you're staying on top of them, following up with them, and making sure that they feel comfortable as well as they work through those hurdles. So, what unique skill do you think has made you so successful here this last year, being number 85?
I am the oldest sister of five siblings, and I've found myself really leaning into that because what does an older sister do, right? Um, she's kind of protective. She has advice and experience to offer to the younger ones. She might, can I swear on this? She might call you on your bullshit. Um, she's gonna call you out if you're um, oftentimes you do have to have those hard conversations about what the budget can't afford and what the market has for you at that budget. So there's a touch of realism and kind of calling you out on some things. And so for me, I feel like I've been really leaning into that and being able to connect with people because I do meet a lot of people through online lead sources. And so we're meeting them for the first time, but being able to lean into that really a big sister role of support, encouragement, and guidance is really where I think I'm winning.
Awesome. So, how do you balance then your time doing all that? And you're on the go. You're getting the leads online that are coming in at 7 o'clock at night, and they want to go see that house at 7:30. So, how do you balance that with your husband?
Yeah. So this year, new to me, are business hours. And I've told this to a couple of people, including you, and it freaks people out. The idea of an agent who isn't working 24/7. But this is what I've learned in my 3.5 years ish in the business. My clients actually expect me to have business hours. When I'm first meeting people, they're asking me, when can I call you? Is it okay if I call you after work? Is it okay if we want to see houses on the weekends? They expect me to have boundaries. And so this year I'm setting them. And so I have work hours and I work within them. It's not a standard 40-hour work week, but the boundaries have helped a lot this year, helped prevent burnout, helped reserve time for my husband and my family. And it's been a game changer. And as far as I can tell, I haven't lost any clients because of it. So, yeah,
Yeah, more
that's
power
my
to you.
business like a business.
Yeah, it's been incredible to watch. I've been impressed that you've been able to stay so diligent with that, because I absolutely can't. I'm always working. I've got my
But you're going to
computer up
work
more
on
than I
it. We
should.
talked about it. You got to work
Yeah,
on it.
yeah. I'm gonna work on it. Right, right. Yeah. Um, what's a hobby that you guys have then when you're hanging out with your husband?
We are opposites. So we do different things in the same space. That's how we hang out. So he will be playing video games and I will be knitting on the couch next to him. So he's in his gamer chair playing video games and I'm knitting. Sometimes I like to look up and see what's going on the screen. But we like to share space more than anything. And we like to go out to eat. I feel like everyone does. Food's such a part of staying alive. So we like to go out to eat, try new restaurants, new foods, that sort of a thing. So
Tried anything recently that was exceptional or
I
new for
was
you?
very happy. So it's Lent, and we're doing no meat on Fridays. And so we've been trying different restaurants that feature like fish fries on Fridays. And so we went to the Pelican Post in West Des Moines, which is a newer restaurant, I think. And I was really happy with the food, really happy with the service. They were chock full of people. And it seemed like it was a team service situation. So we had three different people stopping at our table. But between the three of them, all of our needs were taken care of. They were very friendly. The
Sounds
owner stopped
fancy.
by. It's just a bar. I mean, it's a bar and grill, and it was casual, and it was really great. I enjoyed it.
That's awesome. Well,
Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind. We are headed to Tupelo Honey tonight for a little date night. So yeah, I probably should eat fish, but we'll see. I don't know if they got fish in the southern restaurant. We'll see. Um, so, anyways, what's about movies, music? Got any favorites of that? Any of that kind of stuff? You talked about knitting. Yes, I know you're a reader as
It's on the
well.
old soul, yes. I love to torture my husband with Taylor Swift because I love her. And unfortunately, last night I did not get to watch the Eras tour on Disney Plus. I'll have to do it tonight. That's probably how I'll spend my Friday night, is watching the Eras tour on Disney Plus. We really are opposites attract. Where I am Taylor Swift, I think his favorite artist is Eminem. Like, just very different tastes in music and movies. He's an action thriller movie watcher, and I am solidly rom coms. But it gives us something to talk about. I think.
Yep,
I think having
absolutely.
different interests than when we
Yep.
sit down to dinner and it's what'd you do with your day. Um, it's a surprise. I don't know what he did with his day, and we get to kind of keep learning more about each other. So
I
it's
couldn't agree
good.
more. My wife and I are exactly the same way. She wants to sit and watch sci-fi stuff, and I'd rather watch basketball or be watching, I don't know, anything else. Thrillers, rom-coms. Rom-coms maybe not, but sometimes, sometimes I need a
Sometimes
good cry,
it's a good palate cleanser. You know the
Yeah.
tropes, you know what's going to happen, but you watch it anyway because it's it's like brain candy, you know? You just
You know what? What's the weirdest thing is my favorite kind of movies right now are the older guys that do like the movies with older characters, right? For whatever reason, if it's got Morgan Freeman in it, who's now getting up there in age, it's got Jack Nicholas, it's got all these guys that are older. Um, I don't know. For whatever reason, I love those movies. There's a couple of them that come to mind, and I can't think of the names of them because I'm terrible at remembering names of movies. But for whatever reason, that's my jam right now. It's maybe because I'm feeling like I'm getting older. I'm not gaining any hair. This is the second episode in a row now talking about no hair. But yeah, I don't know what it is, but that's really been my jam
that's your jam. Interesting jam.
lately. So what do you think is next for you in your real estate career? So you mentioned a little bit in your bio that you want to grow your business. What does that look like to you? Is that getting to a point where you're just always busy during your office hours? Is that growing to a team of 50 plus people? What does that look like?
Woof. Woof. Uh, yeah, it's definitely trying to define where you want to grow because real estate is probably still one of the places that's really uncapped as far as potential for growth. And so you have to determine where you want to take your business. I don't have ambitions of growing a gigantic team. Um, if I could get one person to be a full time, my personal transaction coordinator, I have a great transaction coordinator. Shout out to Brady. But I share him with everyone else in the office. I think my dream would be to have my personal transaction coordinator so that I can focus on my people and they can focus on the paper. Because for me, real estate is about the people. Um, I really love working with first time home buyers because I feel like securing that first home is the biggest and hardest step. A move up home, it just gets a little bit easier. Don't get me wrong, there's still a lot of to it, especially if you're selling and buying at the same time. But there's something magical about that first home, accomplishing that really huge goal. So I want to continue working with first time buyers. I think there's a world in which I bring on a buyer's agent or someone to help work with buyers because they require a lot of time as far as driving and seeing and touring. Um, but that maybe is where I stop. And my goal is to do such a good job for my people, for my clients, to serve them well and to continue to serve them and love on them post transaction. That my business grows through repeat and referral business, and people trust me to serve their friends, their family, and if I can build a steady stream of business from that, that's really the goal.
Well, I think those Instagram videos that you're posting out almost daily now are going to help you with that. People are going to be able to relate to you and trust you because you definitely share everything out there, and I love that. As professionals can be, of course, with that. What's a goal that you think that you're going to achieve this year? What are you planning to accomplish this year? You've already got the time blocking thing pretty well down. So what's that next thing that you're going to accomplish this year? What's your plan?
Well, I've got the business hours set. So the goal is to turn those business hours into 30 closed deals by the end of the year is really what I'm striving for. I broke that 30 down into quarterly transactions. We're sitting in the middle of March. And so long as what I've got in the pipes right now all closes out, Q1 will be a big green check mark. We'll roll into Q2 and just really push for that 30 deals and 30 families served is really how I like to look at it.
Yeah, congrats. That's awesome. All right. So we're going to jump over to this or that. So I'm going to go through just a few questions. You can answer them as much detail as you want, or you can just tell me A or B. We're just going to get right into it here. It's really going to hopefully help our listeners get to know you a little bit and some of the weird quirks that you might have. I can personally attest there's a few of them, for sure out there. Just sit and have a chat with Laura for 15 minutes and you'll figure it out. But let's get right into it here. Cats or dogs?
Cats.
I saw the cat walking around just a little bit ago,
Yeah,
so that makes sense.
It's amazing she hasn't popped on screen yet. The dog is upstairs. I do have a dog, but I am a cat person at heart.
Sweet or savory?
Sweet, 100%.
Amen.
Always ice cream. And my husband is a savory, so there's another opposite. I'm like, do you want to go get ice cream? No, the answer is always no.
You might have answered another question on here then. So ice cream or cake?
Ooh. Cake. I love frosting. So really, I mean, toss the cake. If I could get a bucket of frosting, and that just tells you how much I'm a sweets person. I just want sugar. I think I read somewhere that sugar is as addictive as cocaine, and I'm addicted.
Buttercream frosting?
No, the whipped variety.
Whoa, you are unique.
I don't hate buttercream. I enjoy buttercream, but if you give me the choice, I'm going for whipped.
All right, interesting. Not many people choose that one, in my opinion, but maybe
I'm
wrong.
No one else likes it, and I'm just buy the spoonful.
iOS or Android?
Android.
That's right. Your messages are never blue. Drives me nuts. Gym or outdoor exercise?
Neither, but gym, because I am not outdoorsy. Not terribly interested in nature.
Fair, yeah.
There's
Netflix.
Bugs and things out there.
What's that?
There's bugs out there, and I don't know, raccoons.
I mean, this year could be bad for the bugs. We'll find out. With the mild winter that we had, it could be pretty gross out there with bugs. So maybe that's going to play a good, play into your strength here of not going outside much.
Yeah, stay inside.
Netflix or YouTube?
Netflix. It's too hard to choose. There's too much on YouTube.
Texting or phone calls?
Phone calls.
Nice.
Yeah, kind of not for my generation, but I think I text too much during the day. And so then I just want to do phone calls the rest of the time.
Totally appreciate that. Do you talk to your phone like I do as well when you're trying to text?
No. Or what? Text out loud? Because I'll do that. Yeah. I'll be texting and I'll say what I'm thinking out loud, or I will actually laugh out loud. And I just think I'm so funny when I'm texting.
Oh, but you're still texting it?
Yeah.
You're still typing it with your fingers? Okay. Yeah. No, I press the record
No, I
button.
don't talk to text.
Yeah. No, that's the only way that I can actually spell anything correctly anymore. My fat fingers just don't work when it comes to a tiny little texting keyboard. But board games or video games?
Board games.
I kind of
I think
figured
we
that
kind
based
of
on your
covered
earlier
that one
comment.
earlier. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. You didn't say bored. You just said your husband likes video. So he would go video games, though.
He would go video games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although we do a pretty good game night sometimes, really into Catan, the expansion packs. It's a fun game. It's a good game.
I think I have that on my shelf, unopened. Uh,
You're missing out.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's one of those things that you have to spend some time learning it and figuring out how to play it. And I've got two young kids, so we just don't have a
And
lot of
I'll
time
put
to
a
play them
tamper on
yet.
things.
We'll get there.
Yep.
Online shopping or in store?
In store.
Pancakes or waffles?
Well, my gut instinct there was to say pancakes, so I guess pancakes.
Wow.
I expecting something else to go with pancakes, but pancakes.
Pancakes, waffles, or crepes? Is that what you wanted? You wanted crepes, wasn't it? Was that what you were
No,
hoping for?
like I don't know if it's gonna be like pancakes or omelets or something. Because again, that's like a
Mm,
sweet or savory thing. Waffles
yeah.
are too much effort.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I can never make them. They always stick to the griddle thing. It's just a mess.
That's why you got to have a waffle maker. We've got one that's a little heart. I can make little hearts for my wife when I'm feeling really romantic,
So you make them all the time?
every fifth year on Valentine's Day. Yep. Sneakers or sandals?
Sandals.
All inclusive or not?
Not forces you to leave the resort and go try what I call real things.
Sounds terrible. It's really great to just sit on that beach and say, "Hey, I need another drink," and they're all right there. People are there to serve you. Yeah, but I get it. Concerts or theater?
Ooh, that's a good one. I think I would prefer like live theater to concerts. I love going to a good concert, um, but I think theater is just so impressive.
Agreed. Yeah. Handwritten letters or emails?
Handwritten letters.
I kind of figured that with you. That made sense. And
We're
then this
getting
last one, I
we're
think I
getting
know the
those
answer.
old soul vibes. Like I'm calling. There's handwritten notes, face to face. Yeah, old soul
And
right here.
and you're under the age of 40, so yeah, that's where we'll go with that. And plan everything out or go with the flow.
Plan it all out. Plan it all out, and then change the plan, which drives my husband nutty. But as long as there's a plan, you can tweak it. If you're just flying by the seat of your pants, that's too much chaos.
All right, and then the last thing I want to get into is a trending topic that is popular out there in the real estate world, especially in our market and really every market out there. But just kind of give us a little background. Given the fluctuations in the real estate market, many people are curious about trends in home prices, including whether prices are rising, stabilizing, or declining. I keep hearing everyone say, I'm just waiting for home prices to come down. How have home prices been impacted, or how have they changed in the Des Moines area recently?
Yeah, I hear it a lot too from prospective buyers. Well, if I just wait, the market's going to crash or the prices are going to come down. And we're just not seeing that. What we are seeing is a slowing down of the appreciation. So houses are continuing to rise in cost, but not as fast or as dramatically as they have in the past. I was just looking at a graph yesterday. Over the last 41 years, homes have appreciated 4.8% on average. And there were only 4 years where homes did not appreciate: 2008, 2009, 10, and 11. Um, every other year in the past 41 years, homes have gone up in value, and we're continuing to see that. There's just not enough supply to meet the demand, even with the Fed trying to crush buyers by continuing to raise interest rates and keep buyers out of the pool. That demand is still there, and until there's a supply to meet that, we're going to continue to see prices go up. Just hopefully not as dramatically as those unicorn years of 2020 and 2021. Yeah.
Well, let's hope we don't see those interest rates. I mean, I know that listeners out there would love to see 2.5, 3% interest rates, but as the economy works, it doesn't make sense. There's no way for it to work. You have to be able to get some appreciation out of your 401k and all that kind of stuff too. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
well,
I don't remember the interest rate on my first place that I bought. But when we got our first place together, our interest rate was like a 5.4 or something like that. And so for the longest time, I would use that when interest rates started creeping back up again after the unicorn years. I would use that again and again. And just to say, like they were unicorn years, 2.5%, 3%. That was artificial. And it was there to serve a purpose, but we're not going to see that again. And, 5% is a healthy interest rate.
Yep, absolutely.
And you'll forget your interest rate eventually. I don't know what don't know what my first home's interest rate was. I know what my second home was. I know we refinanced down to that 2.5%, when that was an option. And then we gave it up to buy our current house. And now, I don't know, we're sitting somewhere around a 6.5. That was a fun transition. But for me, I hate talking about interest rates because it comes down to, for me, what you can afford if the monthly payment is going to be comfortable for you and if you're ready to make that step into home ownership. Because houses historically appreciate in value. The longer you wait to buy, the more expensive the house is going to be. You're not going to have that equity gain for you. You're going to give that equity to someone else when you buy the house at a higher price. So if buying a home makes sense for you, know your budget, and we can find a house in a price point that works for you.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself. And if our listeners want to get a hold of you and learn more about that, where can they find you?
Oh, they should just give me a call. My number is 515-400 515-400-7309. You can also find me on Instagram. It's relatable_Laura_realtor. Then shoot me a message on there. Just scroll through and see if you can find some interesting information, and just shoot me a message. I'd love to connect.
Well, if you're an old soul and you really appreciate what you've heard today from Laura, you like to knit, you like to be inside, and you don't like video games, you love phone calls, and you love handwritten notes, Laura's your gal. You definitely hit her up. And even if those aren't your things, you still might want to give Laura a shot. So,
yeah, I can be fun. I can learn new things.
Well, thanks for joining us, Laura. I appreciate it today.
Yeah, I'm glad I was able to make it. Rough start.
And thank you all for listening today. Stay tuned for next week when we'll be back for another guest you won't want to miss. Stay tuned.